अहम ब्रह्मास्मि. So कैसे हैं आप लोग सब? I hope from this series of product Gyan, you are definitely moving into a Satyug of product, and that's what I have been trying to do since last two videos. Uh, I want to start off this video with a very good quote from Steve Jobs, the real Guruji of building the right products and having a company which was product led. People think focus means saying yes to the thing you have got to focus on, but that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 good ideas. So, this is what today's introduction unit is all about: betting. How do you prioritize from a set of good ideas, one idea you want to focus on, one theme of problems you want to focus on? But before we delve deeper into today's unit, let's quickly recap what we learned in the last introductory video of Shape Up. So the last product gyan, the 3 points were: how do you observe problems as jobs or tasks to be done? Uh, how do you think about problems with their outcomes already in mind? How do you grill your users to know the outcomes of these problems, positive and negative both? And how do you map that outcome to a tangible or to a value which you can put number to? And obviously, number of features in your backlog is not important. Outcome hi param satya hai. So that was about the last unit, Shape Up. Today's introduction is on betting. How do you prioritize the set of ideas you have, the set of good ideas you have? उसमें से कौन सा you want to select and prioritize and work on is what we are going to discuss today in brief. Uh, Before you prioritize, you need to segregate all the problems you have listed down on which you want to work. And we are segregating, you have to think in terms of themes. Now, how will you define themes? You can define themes by segregating your customers. So, if you are in an enterprise product, you need to think end user and the buyer or management of the company who is buying your product. के management को analytics ज़्यादा चाहिए, management needs a MIH dashboard, end user wants transactions to be easier. If you are in a B2C marketplace model, how do you build features which will engage both the sides of the market, driver as well as rider, or restaurant as well as customers who are placing order? The other way of doing it is value based. So value based is how do you define what values you will create? Either will you save some money, will you increase revenue, will you decrease the time to serve, मतलब आप productivity increase करेंगे, or will you increase the revenue, or will you increase the profit? What will you do for me? So that is what will you do for the end users actually. So what will you do in terms of value? Or you can segregate the problems in that way, and you can also segregate the problems by the metrics you have in mind. Do you want to increase your revenue, your company's revenue? As a product company, do you focus on increasing revenue, or increasing your profit, or increasing the number of daily active users? So all these are themes in which you can segregate your problems. आप अगर इन themes में सोचना शुरू करेंगे, then you can segregate your problems, and by this segregation you can map outcomes in a better way, and you can build a story around it. And before you come to this, so once you have before you come to the storytelling part, आपने जब आपने अपना पूरा segregation कर लिया है, that is where you need to define your equation for prioritization. अब equation क्या है? Equation is set of variables and constants, right? So you need to define which variable you want to focus on. Do you want to focus on your daily active users? Do you want to focus on the revenue or profits? Or do you want to focus more on the value or the return on investment your customer is getting? ये सारे parameters आपकी equation में जाएंगे, and you need to define your focus for that quarter or for that month, and that will give you a prioritization equation which you can use to select more in a scientific way कि कौन सा theme select करना चाहिए. And once you have done the prioritization of themes, you also need to prioritize the problems within those teams. So let's say मैं value based में जाता हूँ and I want to create products. Let's take example of Swiggy came with a with two products, Swiggy Pop and Swiggy Prime. So Swiggy Pop was launched earlier and then Prime was launched. Pop created a lot of value for bachelors like me. They were giving one meal a day at a subsidized price, and then the next thing was Swiggy Prime. Both are saving money, but कौन सा पहले सॉल्व करना चाहिए is what I'm talking about. Within one team, how do you prioritize a problem to be solved and released? And obviously, when you are prioritizing and then writing this whole product roadmap document down, it should not be mundane. It should be a story, because सबको एक अच्छी story सबको एक अच्छी story सुनने में बहुत मज़ा आता है, and they can completely relate it with. So instead of presenting verbose product roadmaps, it should be a proper story. And in last, you are the decision owner, but your whole team is going to make that decision, going to vote or going to discuss it. So you need proper decision making frameworks. So these are the 4-5 points which we will dive deeper into in the next set of videos once we are done with introduction of all the units. And I hope this will definitely help all product managers, business analysts, designers and engineers out there to connect on this topic of bet on it. Moving on to today's product, yeah. Always think about problems in bucket of themes. Always try to build a simple prioritization equation. Don't overcomplicate it. And always try to build your roadmap as a story, because as Guruji says, everyone loves a nice story, not a scrum board full of backlog in features. So that's it for today's video. If you liked it, please do share it, subscribe to my channel, and obviously leave a comment or of your feedback, of any inputs you have on this series. That would really help me to improve the content I'm delivering every week. Thanks.